Our second speaker will be Ian. Actually, I'm looking to hear your presentation. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Very loud. So I'll do a little bit of a dance before they put my presentation up. Can everyone hear me well? Yeah? Good. See a lot of you fresh today. That's good. Hope you didn't get stuck in the morning traffic. How long does it take to get here? 1 hour? 2 hours for some? More than 3 hours? Okay. Can I go? That's not my presentation. It wasn't blue. Maybe you have to push the magic buttons or something. Let him do it. I'll let him do it. Okay. More time for me dancing. I have it here. I can show you, turn around. But anyway, I actually had some interesting questions. Who is from the agencies here? Raise your hands, please. Agencies? Agencies? More hands, please. Wake up. Okay, who's from the brand side? Oh, a lot more brands. Any media companies? Okay. And the rest were sleeping? The rest are, I don't know, fans? Startups? Couple? Fans of social bakers? Oh, none. Fans of social bakers? None? Oh, there we go. Have to articulate better. This microphone is echoey, it bounces off the walls. How are we doing? Duplicate. All right. We have a presentation. That's good. So, thank you all for coming again. Let me introduce myself very briefly. I know I did so yesterday, but let me introduce the company as well. I'm Rezab. I run Social Bakers. I co-founded it 4 years ago, and we founded it actually as a social media agency, but very quickly understood that client work is not something that is going to be our living, that our heart is really in the product side. So that's why we built Social Bakers, and that's why we built our products. And we understood very quickly that analytics is a place that we want to be in and that we want to measure. We have offices quite all around the world now. We are a team of 145 people, mostly based out of the Czech Republic, where there's some great engineering talent. And we have, I think, 130 now of the Fortune 500 companies are customers of ours. If we look at the way that media has shifted, a lot of people have talked about it. If we look at the shift, it's kind of funny. People would previously call you on the phone with customer care. Now they just send you a post on Facebook. Previously, people would try and go on your website. Now, many of our customers abandon their websites, abandoning landing pages, and just doing their Facebook pages, especially in fast-moving consumer goods and categories like that. So the world is really shifting to the new social media trend. And it's also shifting to the news feed. So social media is really the first media that allows brands to be so content-focused. And if you're a brand and have 1 million fans and send nothing to your page, the value of your social brand will be zero, because nobody actually goes to your page to check out if you have a tab or if you don't have a tab. People consume most of the content through the news feed in social media. So I just want to set this premise because I'm sort of getting that somewhere. And what content do people consume? They mostly consume photos, as you can see in this chart. And it's a majority. And also the majority of the engagement is photos. Because photos, they have a very big sort of asset on Facebook, and when you send good photos, when your friends send you good photos, you're very likely to like them. And if a brand sends you a relevant good photo, you're also very likely to engage with it. But of course, the brand shouldn't only send funny pictures, it should send brand relevant pictures. And what are the top metrics in social media? A lot of you I know a lot of you look at just the fan count, pure fan count. But pure fan count isn't enough. Just ordering it by the top number of fans isn't good enough. So you have to look at different types of course, growth, engagement rate, and interactions that sort of show the quality of your page, of the engagement happening on the page. Coca-Cola is now sort of the biggest brand on Facebook in the world. They have over 50 million fans. They've reached that last week. But if you combine 5 local brands of Xbox, 10 local brands of Starbucks, anywhere in the world, they will trump them in engagement big time. Because brand marketing is local. And Coca-Cola doesn't get that. They merge their pages into a global page. They send them global updates. The people are not interested in global updates. The global team cannot produce as engaging content as the local teams. And creating locally targeted content is not the exact solution. And of course, looking at what we call socially devoted metrics, we've introduced this standard called socially devoted. We said every company has to respond in an hour and has to respond 70% of the user questions in social media to be socially devoted to their customers. And I have some data on Egypt later, so it's going to be interesting to look at the companies. We also say that, in social media, everybody just keeps asking us on what is the return on investment of social media? What is the ROI? How do we measure it? What do we do with it? Well, there's a very simple thing on ROI. You're not going to get any ROI in social if you don't get engagement. So you first have to get ROE, return on engagement, to get to ROI. It's a funnel. So first get engagement from your fans, and then try and think about ROI. What will be your ROI? For a media company, it might be a click on their page. For a telecom company, it might be a new user subscription or a great acquisition of a new customer. So it's a lot of different things for a lot of different brands, but one thing's always in common. It's that engagement drives that. On average, a page post gets viewed by 15% of people, and Facebook loves to say that. We've heard that in the presentation yesterday. But actually, that's an average, right? These are 2 posts from us, from Social Bakers. They're one day from each other. There were no posts by it. And the post on the right and they were not promoted. The post on the right had 6,000 people see it. That is 7% of our fan base. And the other one was posted a day later, and it had 40% people see it, I think 42, and that's 38,000. That's a lot. That's a big difference in quality. And I gave the team a hard time for a very bad picture on that. And of course, that's something. If you have bad picture content, that's what engagement's going to do to you. And of course, the result on the CTR. There's also a 3-time difference on the CTR. So effectively, you have like 16 times difference when you produce good content and bad content. So this is something to think about in social media. So the way we see it and the way we help our brands see it is you get higher engagement, you get higher reach. So of course, then you can have higher conversion on anything. If it's a click, if it's a acquisition of a customer, retention, that's the ROI of social media. That's how we see it. And on October 23rd, we're going to be releasing some heavy stats on actually what engagement correlates with which reach. So we're going to prove that with real numbers. So it's going to be a fun October for us. Which platforms should you focus on? Of course, not only Facebook, but in many cases primarily Facebook, because that's where a majority of the user base is, and that's where a majority of the brand interactions happen. But of course, also on the other networks. And there's a little bit of dust on the Google+. I haven't been there for like 35 days, but who uses Google+? Who uses it? Who used it in the last day? Okay, 3 people, 4, oh yeah, the Google guy, hey, Stefan. Discount that, and we have about 10% activity. That's good. That's good. Who has Facebook? Who's been there in the last day? I like that. Yeah. Who posted my picture on Facebook? No. Twitter. So, but there's a difference in the platforms, especially between Twitter and Facebook. There is a difference in priority. If you're a media company, what this chart shows is the average size of the top 15 brands in that certain category. So you can see that actually Twitter for media companies is bigger than Facebook. Of course, we cannot know on the interaction side if it's better. We'll do a different study on that. But this is the pure size of the pages. And it kind of gives you a picture that it really varies from industry to industry. And actually, the biggest industry where Facebook really is the focus is FMCG, fast-moving consumer goods, where really the Twitters and the Google Pluses are not there. The brands are just not present. So key learnings, of course, from this section. Great content is extremely critical. Great engagement leads to higher ROI, and focus on the right platform is very important. So the data from Egypt, some very nice data. But before we do that, there's one thing I have to share. If you're not in that study and you think you should be there, then it's partly our mistake because we didn't proactively find you, but it's also partly your mistakes. The entire way Social Bakers works and our portal works, our portal, socialbakers.com, if you're not using it, go use it. It's a go-to destination for some great stats. Our board keeps telling us that we put way too many things out for free. We defend it, that we really think it should be like that. And if you go to the site, there's a monitor, a page in every section. You can add a page, you can add a Twitter profile. We try and proactively seek out profiles, but you have to tell us if a brand is a media company from Egypt or if it's a FMCG company from Egypt. We need to know in order to categorize that, in order to be able to measure it for you in these beautiful studies. So if you're not in this study, that means we won't miss you out next time. And we run these beautiful local reports every month. So if you're not there, go and add yourself. You'll be there next month. And this is actually, you can't see this on the site. So this is a new version of the site going to be launched on Monday, much cleaner. And so this is what you can find on the site for free. You go into the section and there's like an ad page on every page. This is like a sneak preview of how the site's going to look on Monday, much cleaner. So some data on Egypt, finally. So of course, you all know that from the stats, 11.5 million Facebook users. Maybe we have 500,000 dogs and other fake profiles, but who cares? It's the number 21 market in the world. That's gone down a little bit. And 27% of Egyptian Facebook access is mobile. So, and that's grown a lot, and I believe it will continue growing. The average post reach is on the lower better side, 6 to 15%, with the average engagement rate of 0.14%. For example, Coca-Cola's engagement is 0.02%, sometimes 0.01. So it's 14 times better, 7 to 14 times better than Coca-Cola. So of course, the fan base, but I won't stay long with that. We have the sort of telco/mobile companies in the top 3. Vodafone, Nokia, and Samsung. But it's interesting to drill down into that and look at other things. So, top brands by engagement rate. I've shown a formula of engagement rate. I don't know if you've seen that. Engagement rate is ultimately the number of interactions on a per post basis, divided by the number of posts, so on a per post basis, divided by the number of fans. So it's a very low number because, of course, with every one of your posts, not 100% of fans will interact. So like a great number is 1%, like really great. Because that would mean that if you have 100,000 fans, that 1,000 fans actually interacted with that single post. Effectively, a 1% means something between a 40 and a 70% reach on that page. So it's a very high reach. BMW here, Maggi, Tiger, Heinz Egypt,